guys, so we're focusing today on how to break the grip when somebody defends the arm lock from the mount position, okay? So we're gonna do a couple of different variations of how the person can grip their hands, right? And then we'll have like a series of movements to untie this like knot, as they call it sometimes, okay? But first what we're gonna do is we're gonna review attacking the mounted arm bar, okay? So we're gonna start in the mount, all right? We're gonna force the opponent to push up on our chest, all right, and we're gonna just hit a nice swinging arm bar from the mount, okay? We'll do it in a couple of different versions. One, kind of like a basic version where it doesn't take as much hip flexibility and dexterity, and then another option if you have a little bit more mobility. So, Curtis, can I borrow you? All right, so have these hands, please. Perfect. Okay, so we're in the mount, right? We've established the position, a nice tight bite with our knees and our feet, nice and tight, right? Don't generally have your feet pointing outward, right? It puts a weird little crank in your hip, right? So that's really uncomfortable. So always have your toes kind of tucked in, hugging his butt line, and my knees are pinched, okay? Again, preferably you'd like to be in generally like the high mount, okay? So you're gonna bring your knees up really, really high if you want to start attacking, okay? It's gonna be a lot easier to start swinging around for the arm bar, but it's generally unlikely that you're gonna start in the high mount. You gotta really work together. So usually you're gonna work with like a middle mount position, okay? Not super, super low, where I'm just focusing on kind of crossing my ankles and driving my hips to the floor. This is like kind of purely control right here, which is awesome. But if we want to attack, we want to have at least a middle to high mount, okay? So we're just gonna start in a middle mount, just nice and comfortable, okay? All right. I like to have my chest low, and I'm like kind of working this like low posture, smothering his face a little bit. I want to get that reaction where he tries to push me off his chest. Okay, if there's no strikes involved, then I just kind of hang out here. He's usually not going to feel like he's in danger or anything like that. He's keeping his elbows tight. But once I start driving my face into him and moving his head around, now he doesn't like it. He's going to start trying to push me away and get that pressure off of him. Perfect. That's what I want to see. All right. So from here, we're going to work just a standard arm bar. Okay. So whatever arm I decide to attack, so I'm going to attack his right arm. Okay. That arm, same corresponding arm, I should say, is coming over the top, and I'm going to put my hand right on his chest. Okay. I like to point my fingers in the direction my legs are going to swing. Okay, it just kind of naturally kind of creates this rotation in my body. If I put my hands like this, all right, as I swing around, now my wrist gets all tweaked. So I like to point my fingers in the direction that I'm going to be swinging my legs. Okay, the other arm comes on top and reinforces it. Okay, now all my weight goes down on his chest, and I'm going to work to slide up to my high mount. Okay, you can do it in steps, or you can do it all as one swinging motion, but I'm going to show it in steps. All right, now from here, I'm going to step up with the opposite foot, nice and tight to his armpit. All right, knee up. Foot flat on the ground. Now the simple way to do it is to come up to the other foot, and now I'm going to take little steps until I cover his head, and then I sit straight down, and then I work to control that near side arm right here. Pinching my knees together, curling my heels in, and this is the control point from here. He's not going to defend right now. We're just going to kind of get into this position and then fall back and finish the arm lock. All right, so from here, I got my legs nice and tight, control the wrist. You can do it in a bunch of different ways. I generally like to kind of do this like rear naked choke grip. And I grab the hand, fall back, boom, I get the tap, okay? You can just control the wrist with your hand and pin it to your chest. That's also fine, no problems, right? Remember breaking mechanics, thumb points in the direction of your hips, okay? So if I'm driving my hips to the ceiling, I want to have his thumb pointing in that direction, boom. That's where I want the break, okay? Very simple. So that's a simple way to do it if you're having trouble getting a nice smooth swing. All right, so again, one more time, he pushes, boom, over, under, I slide up to a high mount, foot steps up, other leg steps up, and then I do a couple little steps, and then try to sit straight down. Try not to fall back right away. Control your body. And now once you have a good solid armbar position, now I can control the wrist how I like to. Boom, fall back and get the finish. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is avoid doing stuff like this. Here, push your chest up, push higher. Go like this. Right? See how my legs kind of came up and I fell backwards? More than likely, I'm going to lose that position. Okay? So work on when you step, step, step. Sit straight down, and then use your heels. Pulling on your heels, it kind of helps you sit forward. Okay? So use this pulling motion of your heels. It's going to help bring your shoulders forward and not let you fall back. Okay? So that's a simple version of how to swing the leg over. Just step up to both legs. And that's why we do the kangaroo hop, and you really work on getting that squat nice and low so we can improve that flexibility. Okay? So if you're a little bit more experienced, okay, we're going to work to swing the leg over in less steps. So again, as he pushes on my chest, right here, we come 1, 2, I slide up, I step up. Now watch how I turn my hips. Okay, see how this back foot kind of starts to rotate around? And now from here, I lean and I swing the leg right over, and then I sit down. Okay, so it's just a little bit smoother, a lot lower clearance, so it's less likely he's going to pull that elbow to the floor and start to escape. And then you can do it even smoother from there, okay? But if you can break down at least those 2 steps, that's perfect. So again, he pushes up, boom, 1, 2. And every time, boom, curl those heels forward, pinch the knees together, and then I'm here. Control the wrist how you like, fall back, and get the tap. Okay. One cool way to dismount and then remount, so that it's like a flow. So I fall backwards, I bring my feet towards his feet, and then I scissors my legs, and now I'm right back here into a mount. Okay, so it's a nice way to dismount from the arm bar and get right back into the mount. It's a nice little footwork drill, and it keeps everything kind of moving quicker. Okay, so pushes, 1, 2, up, step, swing, sit, fall back, right to the arm bar, other side. Boom, fall back. That's it. Okay, it's just simple arm bar for mount. Whatever way you like to do the swing over, go for it. Okay, I want everybody to do 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and then the other person does 3 and 3, and then stop, so I know everybody's done theirs. Okay, any questions? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect, time. All right, awesome. All right, so again, just reinforcing how to hit the arm bar. Awesome. If you see the opportunity and you have to fall back right away because the guy's not grabbing his hand together, then you can fall back right away as you swing a leg over, boom, right away you pull back, extend the arm, and you get the finish, okay? But a lot of times you're going to want to plant yourself, make sure that you have a good tight position, and then fall back to the arm bar. Okay? Anytime you swing through it, fall right back, it's just a chance of something slipping, right? Especially as you get like a little bit sweatier, more likely something's going to slip. Okay, so same thing. We're going to get to the arm bar. Another person's going to defend. They're going to just do a standard gable grip defense. All right, gable grip or S grip, where they're just grabbing their hands together, and he's just making sure that he keeps a good bend in the arm that I'm attacking. Okay, that's just a basic starting off. How can I at least not get my arm extended right away? Okay, so very, very simple. Okay, so again, he pushes. I come over, under, making sure that I'm putting all my weight on the person. Okay, don't worry about holding onto the arm. Now my weight is now buried on my legs. All right, so now it's going to be hard to swing this leg over because now there's weight on it. Okay, when I put my weight on his chest, now I have the ability to swing this leg around as I need to. All right, boom, boom, and we're here. Okay, all right. So one thing, you notice the arm that comes over, push, push. All right, the arm that comes over. All right, once I drop into the arm bar and I sit, that hand is going to reach through and grab my far thigh or my IT band. So as I come up, I step up, I swing, boom. I want to lock that far arm onto my IT band. Okay, it's called like a padlock. All right, so all I'm doing is just, I'm locking my elbow down, and it's just securing this arm in place while I do everything also with my feet. Now I have a free hand that I can kind of use to work to break the grip or strike if it's like an MMA situation, okay? So here we are. I got my padlock, I got my foot position, okay? You can just pinch your feet together like this, okay? If the body type is good, I actually prefer to cross my ankles right here, pulling my heels in, smooshing your shoulders together, okay? But body type, if the guy's a lot bigger than you, you're probably going to be forced to just pinching your feet together and curling your heels in, okay? That's it. But again, if you can, I like to cross my ankles. I just feel a little bit more secure. Everything's kind of locked in there. It's like your guard, you know, locking up your guard around their shoulders, okay? Big thing is having the leg that's in front of the face underneath the ankle cross as opposed to this way. See, now his shoulder, his far shoulder is kind of out of play. It's just a little less control, I feel. So make that foot under, and then it comes over, curl my toes back, and I'm pulling my heels in, and this is just a little bit better control, okay? This is like the spider web position where you can hold the near side leg, and you just kind of hold in this position. Okay, this could be good too if you have enough time. You can just kind of lean down, hold down to that leg in the spider web, and it just kind of puts pressure on their grip. Like slowly but surely, their grip's getting a little bit weaker. Okay, so that's called the spider web position. So you can just use that as a holding position right here. It's hard for him to come up, right? Very, very difficult, okay? So that's just a little tidbit on how to hold the position. But we want to break this grip right here, okay? Perfect. So the first one we're going to do, my free arm is going to reach as deep as possible. As deep as possible. Don't settle for like this. I want to reach deep, deep, deep. Pull on his elbow. I want to try to bring his elbows together. Just like that. Okay, the more I can bring his elbows together, it's already starting to weaken his grip right here. Boom. Now, I can adjust my ankles if I need to. I kind of kick them a little bit and get this even like underneath his shoulder even more. So now he's getting like really, really smushed in here. Okay. So now once we're here, the padlock arm is going to release my thigh. It's going to come over the top of his forearm. Okay. Everybody see what's going on here? This is not moving. This is just holding on. Over top of the forearm. Now I want to create like a lever action. So I'm pushing down with this hand here, pushing down with it as I lift up on the elbow. Boom. Right? Slowly but surely, it'll eventually start to break that grip. Right? So that's what I want to see. So go back. Boom, boom, we're here. I pull. I reinforce nice and deep. Right? I'm not just kind of like grabbing here. I'm going as deep as I possibly can. And now my elbow works to pry that grip. All right? Once it's there, now I'm just going to get a rear naked choke grip on that arm. Again, whatever kind of grip you like. I just come here and here. Pinch my knees, fall back, and boom, get my finish. Okay, so we're just kind of just untying a knot. And the more complicated the knot is, the more sequences we need to finish it, okay? This is just a very simple option. Okay, there's other options, right? You can use your leg that's on top of his stomach and you can put it in his elbow joint and just push, right, and catch there. All right, but sometimes that disconnection here can create opportunities to escape. Okay, so I like to generally have my feet crossed, and then I'm gonna attack this lock by using my hands. So again, one more time, we're here. I got my ankles crossed. I pull, overlap, boom, break that grip, and then right away, I go choke on it, and then I can grab that thumb and I can adjust his wrist how needed. All right, if I just get here and I pull and I'm not thinking about the thumb, he's gonna start to hitchhike his way out, and now I'm lost. So remember, focus on that thumb position. So once I rear naked choke the wrist, the other hand can come up and find the thumb, and then I can kind of tweak it how I need to. Yep, just hands together, perfect. Here we go. Again, pull, overlap, elbow comes nice and high, I break that grip right here, and then this hand can come find the thumb. Now I can work to twist the wrist how I need to as I fall back. Okay. Here I got a nice solid mount position. He pushes me up, I come over, under, high, step up, swing the leg over, and I catch. He has his hands together. Perfect. Boom, pull it into me. I like to lock up these ankles a little bit tighter, come over the top, pry, catch. Find the thumb, adjust how I need to, and finish. Okay? If I get here, and as I pry up, hold your hands together, as I pry up, the person extends their arms so that it doesn't break their grip, right? See, if I bring my elbow, go back, right? If I bring my elbow up and he straightens his arm out, yeah, it's not going to break the grip, but now both of his arms are extended, so it's actually not really supporting that choking arm that much. From here, all I'm doing is going to rear naked choke the grip, both arms. See how I actually incorporate the other arm in it? And now I'm just going to use my body weight and lean. Eventually, that other arm's going to slip out, and he's done, right? So as long as he has a bend to his elbow, the support hand can stop it. Once his arms are straight, now I can focus on the lever point of his wrist. Okay, if I'm just pulling on his elbow, bend your elbow. If I'm just pulling on his elbow, right, it's going to be hard. I can lean here all day long. All right, I'm not affecting the strongest lever point. All right, but if I get here and he extends his arm so that his grip doesn't break, now I just hold here. All right, and I just pull. Slowly but surely that wrist is going to come out, and now I have isolated on his wrist, strongest lever point, and I can get the finish. Okay. So if his elbows are parallel with the floor, all right, it's going to be hard to finish. But the second that his arms go straight, now I can isolate on this wrist and then just finish it from there. So boom, I come here, slide up, swing, okay? Boom, if I do it correctly and I break the grip, I catch here and fall back. Okay? If I get here and I don't break the grip for whatever reason, I'm just figure four-ing that wrist and incorporating the other one right here. All right? He's not going to be able to pull his elbow back. It's too far. His arms are completely extended. He has no leverage to bring his elbow back to the floor. And I'm just going to lean little by little. You can give like little jerking motions once you establish this rear naked choke grip, and you need a little something extra to break that grip finally. Just give it a little good pull and tug, and usually it'll break it. One last time. So we're here. He pushes up, swing, catch. All right? Ankles crossed together, pull, boom. If I don't break the grip, cool, no problem. If I do, great. All I'm trying to do is kind of make this gable grip just weaker. Right? As long as he keeps his elbows apart and his elbows bent, it's going to be a strong grip. But once I start doing this, it becomes a lot weaker, and then I can slowly start to break that grip. Okay? Any questions? All right, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, time. All right, cool. So now we're going to do a more involved defense. So the guy's going to have a little bit more of a more complex knot, so to speak. Okay? So I already jumped into the arm bar. Okay? So just so that they can see, I'm going to just move my leg out of the way, okay? So this is the breaking arm, okay? This is the breaking arm, this is the supporting arm, okay? So the person that's getting the arm bar done to them, they're going to take the breaking arm and they're going to hide it in their elbow joint of the other arm, okay? Nice and deep. I want those fingers to be as deep as, yeah, perfect, perfect. And now the other one is going to be underneath my hamstring, palm out, just like that, okay? This is the rear naked choke defense to the arm bar, okay? So this is a much more complicated defense, right? He's got this arm underneath my hamstring, so it's not easy to get rid of. And he's got that breaking arm that I want trapped in his elbow joint. Okay? So it's going to be a more complicated scenario, okay? So again, everything starts with this padlock. Okay? If I don't have the padlock and he has this kind of control, man, he's probably going to be getting out. Right? So I just need something that's kind of giving me time, buying me time, okay? So initially, I have my padlock, right? The same padlock that I had originally, okay? First, I'm going to test this grip right here, okay? So I'm going to test it to see how deep it is, okay? So my free hand, the hand that's closest to his leg, I'm just going to give him a couple of good pops on the elbow, okay? A couple of good pops. So if this grip is not deep enough, if I give it a good pop, sometimes it's going to come right out, okay? And then I can just, boom, take it, okay? If he only has like his fingers deep, you see how his fingers are retracted a little bit? This is a very weak grip in his elbow joint. So I'm just going to test it a couple times. So I'll give it a good couple pops with that free arm. A lot of times it's going to come out, and then I scoop it up and finish it, okay? But if he's got a really deep grip, see how he wraps his fingers around his tricep almost? Okay, this is going to be hard to break through. Perfect. So just give it a couple of pops initially just to test it and see how strong this defense is. And then if you give it a good couple pops and it's still not coming out, now we got to do a little bit more work, okay? So now watch. I'm going to switch my padlock. So I'm going to come underneath and I'm going to switch it out. Now I have the other padlock. Okay, still keep my ankles crossed and everything like that. Now, my free hand now is going to grab that hand that's underneath my hamstring with a thumb, so a C grip. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to push down, okay, because I'm going to clear this leg off of his head. If I don't do that, he's going to start to come up right away. Okay? So I'm here initially, I grab it, C grip, and I'm actually pushing it in. So now when he tries to come up, he's slow. Right? It's just for a half a second. It's very, very momentarily. So I push down on it, I clear the head, and I pull up on it as I replace my leg now. Okay, so now I've started to untie the knot a little bit. Okay, so I keep this wrist the whole time. I'm not letting it go. I still have my padlock. I still got this wrist, so I'm patient. Okay, now when I'm ready, I'm going to let go of his wrist, and I'm going to start to search for that breaking arm. Okay, I'm going to let go of the wrist, and I'm going to start to search for it. Elbow stays nice and tight. And from here, I'm just going to kind of wipe my hand up his tricep and start to peel that arm back. All right, again, once it's exposed, I'm just choking it up and then finishing the grip, or finishing the arm lock. Okay, so this is a little bit more involved, but it has to be. Got my good ankle crossed, control the wrist. I'm going to push, clear, pull, replace. It's very important that I don't pull and then take a long time to replace, because as he pulls, he's coming up on top. All right? So as I start to pull, I got to make sure that I replace that. Go back. I got to replace that leg over his head. All right? So it's a push, clear, pull, replace, or cover. So push, clear, pull, replace. And now I go back to crossing my ankles, and I keep this wrist until I feel like I'm ready. Okay, I see that arm. Now I shoot for it, and I go right underneath the thumb. See how his thumb is part of the grip? Right, so I just go thumb underneath thumb, right there. And then I just slide up. There we go. Okay? A lot of times what's going to happen is they're going to go back to the original defense. They're going to, yeah, boom. As I start to pull on that wrist, he feels like he's losing it. He's going to grab his arm again. Then I would go back to the first one. Boom, boom, boom. Break it, catch, and then finish. Okay, so the combination of the two are going to work really well. As he's losing this position right here, boom, 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 boom. I start to go for it. He's going to maybe bring his hands together and then do the defense that way. Okay, now I get back. Boom, pull. You guys see how they lock in together. Again, right here, he's got his arm straight. I'm trying to break the grip, but now I'm just right here. I just hold on to it. As I fall back, I'm going to get that grip break. Okay, so it's a little bit more involved. Let's do it from this angle. Rotate this way. Okay. So we're here. He pushes me up. Right? In the process of getting here and here, he gets the figure 4 grip and he gets that hand underneath. Okay? All right, good. Give it a couple good pops. Doesn't work. Okay, so now I switch the padlock, grab his wrist, push, clear, pull, cover. And I go back to this. I don't let go of this wrist until I feel like I'm ready. Now I shoot for the thumb and start to scrape it backwards. If he doesn't grab his hand, then I just double up on it. If he ends up grabbing his hands together, I go back to that first one that we did. Okay, so we're slowly starting to untie the knot. Boom, boom. Break the grip. And come right there and finish it. Okay? Any questions? Okay, let's work on it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, time. All right, so last one now. It's actually not going to be a finishing armbar, but we're going to transition now to the back. Okay? Sometimes the guy's got strong defensive armbar. Okay? All right, a lot of times we'll get to the armbar, and then a classic defense to the armbar. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of defense he has hand-wise. Okay, a lot of times they bridge, they put me on my back, and then they stack me, and then they slowly start to get this elbow out, and now boom, and now I gotta break free, I gotta release, I gotta do something else. Okay, so you got against that person that's constantly trying to sit up, okay, and I can keep forcing them back down to the floor with my leg, this one right here. Right, if I got here, as they start to come up, I can use this leg to force them back down to the floor and then go back to crossing my ankles. As they come up again, I force them back down to the floor, and so it's like, oh, constantly, boom, over and over and over. I just got to keep doing this. So it's like, okay, now watch what I do. So now I'm going to switch my padlock, and I'm going to actually allow him to come up. All right, so I'm going to clear my leg off of his head, and he thinks it's like a window. So after he's done that bridge a couple times, I want to make sure that I have the south side padlock, okay? So now I'm going to clear the leg off of his head, and now as he starts to sit up, I'm going to arm drag his elbow across my body. So right now his elbow is center line with me. Okay, so as I slow motion, as I clear this leg off, I'm going to pull this elbow center line, past center line, and then I come right here to the far armpit. All right, so now he's exposing his back. I use this to help pull me, get that good chest to back connection, and then I get my seatbelt. Okay, you can go right to the neck if you want to. Right, but I like to come here first so that I can adjust my body and make sure that I have a good back connection before I come over the top for the choke. Okay. So again, so now we need the south side padlock. Okay, because this north side hand is going to come and reach to the armpit. Okay. So we're here. Okay. He's trying to defend. Maybe I'm doing a good job of forcing him back down. Okay, but I don't want to just keep doing that over and over and over again. Right. So as I clear the head, I pull on the elbow. And I find that armpit right there. Adjust my body, get my hooks, get my seatbelt, and now I'm on the back ready to work whatever else I need. Knowing when to stop trying a certain technique or a certain submission and transition to something else is, takes time to know when. Okay, like you're in an armbar, you're like, oh, I don't want to give up this armbar, I'm in a good position. But now I'm just burning time. Maybe I transition to something else that finish. And I can always go back to the armbar. Right, the back and the armbar, we did that little series where you can do that swing around armbar from the back position. So you can always come back to the armbar if you have somebody's back. Okay. So again, I'm here. I get my south side padlock. Okay, I'm here. I clear the leg. A lot of times I'll bait him. Maybe he's not trying to bridge. So I'll just take the hand off his head, leg off his head. Now he comes up. Boom. Drag the elbow across. Find his far armpit. Adjust my body to where I need to. I got my seatbelt, my head's between his head and the mat, and now we're here. Okay, we can work our straight jacket series from here. All right, if I ever see the opening again, I can push his head away and go right back to the armbar if I want to. Okay, so it's we're really not losing anything. We're just giving ourselves a better position to attack. So one last time, very simple. This right here, this arm drag, see? As he starts to come up, I need to pull that across. That's going to give me a little bit of like whipping force to swing my body around. So don't just keep this elbow center line. As he starts to come up, I pull it. See how it swings my body around? And then I find that armpit. I adjust my body where I need to. I get my seatbelt, and I get my head position, and then I just secure the back. Okay? All right, we're here. I got him mounted. He's pushing. Swing over. I think we're here. I got this padlock first. Right, I always like to have this padlock first. So I can always post my arm. Right, as he tries to drive up into me, I can use that post hand to prevent my back from going down to the ground. Okay, so now I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to drive up. He's trying to drive up. I keep flattening him out. So I switch. Now I let him come up. And I get whatever I need to do to get my finish. Okay? All right, any questions? Okay, let's take the back. 1, 2, 3.